Good evening and welcome. We are bringing you commentary of Sheffield United against Arsenal today from the Premier League. I'm your alternative host, Russ Vernon, and I am joined by your alternative commentator, John Stuttard, and you are listening to Football Commentary Live. The early results in the Premier League, where Burnley 1, Newcastle United 2, West Ham United 3, Leicester City 2, and the last game you heard was Tottenham 1, Manchester United 3. We've had West Ham versus Leicester and Tottenham versus Manchester United commentaries as well. We're bringing you commentary in a moment of Sheffield United versus Arsenal, as I mentioned. In the Scottish Premiership, Rangers beat Hibernian by 2-1. We're now going to feature for the very first time on the channel, making his Football Commentary Live debut. It is that man, JB, aka John Stuttard, and welcome to Football Commentary Live, JB. How you doing, my friend? You okay? JB, we can't see you, my friend. JB, your mic's muted. On the StreamYard part. Software part that we're using. 1 minute. Just a second, we'll just get JB to.
Now, I'm here. Hello.
Hey, JB, how you doing, mate? You okay? Looking forward to your debut?
Yeah, I'm very well. It was a chasing experience. What it always is watching Burnley as a spectator, but delighted to be here for this one tonight. And I've been excited to do this. I couldn't think of anything better to do on a Sunday, so I thought I'd give this a bash. Yeah, I'm still buzzing after the Grand National commentary on Trevor Sports, and if you do type in Trevor Sports after the thing, after the commentary here tonight, honestly, you're in for a right treat. Honestly, that's one of the channels myself and Russ work on at the moment. As for this game,
news, JB?
Yes, as for this game tonight, Russ, Sheffield United and Paul Eckingbottom, who's the care manager at the moment, they're going to play a 3-5-2, which served them so well last season. They go Ramsdale in goal, Egan, Amperduston, Baldock, John Fleck, John Lustrom, Osborne, Oliver Burke, and David McGoldrick. On the Sheffield United is Wes Bob, Jaden Bogo, Muse, Lowe, Yagioka, Brian, and Indai. Arsenal, we were going to play a 4-2-3. It's Chambers, Holding, Pablo Marie, Thomas Partey, Granit Xhaka, Nicola Pepe, Danny Ceballos, Martinelli, and Alex Lacazette. So no place in the 18 for Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang. So on the bench, we've got Gabriel, Bellerin, Willian, Cedric Suarez, Reece Nelson, El Neni, Eddie Nketiah, Matt Ryan, the goalkeeper, and Aziz. And I can tell you that the officials tonight, the referee in charge comes from Merseyside. That's Peter Banks and Neil Davis and James Mannering. Help myself and get the captaining joke out. Lee Mason is the fourth official, and Jared Gillett, originally an Australian by birth, but very much settled in this country. He's our man down at Stockley Park.
Yes, looking forward to this game and looking forward to having you on the commentary as well, JB, for your Football Commentary Live debut this afternoon. And if you're looking ahead to this one, JB, and from the earlier results today as well, which side would you say would be looking more up to this game? Would you be more inclined to think towards Arsenal, or would you think Paul Eckingbottom and Sheffield seem to have lost our connect line to JB at this moment in time. We'll try and get him back in just a second. We'll try and fetch him back on in a second for JB, as we have just lost him for a moment. And I'll repeat that question again in a moment or two once we do have JB back with us. Looking forward to this game then, JB. We're bringing you the team news there. We'll be back, hopefully back connected up to JB in a couple of minutes ahead of kick-off in this game between Sheffield United and Arsenal. We'll just be with JB very, very soon. Hopefully we'll get him back. Hopefully we can get him back on to the system. Just be waiting to reconnect with JB. Just dropped him a message, see if everything is okay with him. He's having a few technical issues. He says hopefully we'll get him back. As we are waiting for JB to come and rekindle his line with us. We'll just be taking a quick break for a second, so don't go anywhere. We'll be back with you very, very soon. John will be joining us once his technical issues have been resolved. We'll fetch him in once he can get back with us. We just lost sound connection. I'm a few technical problems at my end as well. We'll try and resolve them for you as well. We've got JB back here now. And we'll see
Yes,
if we can get
I'm
him
by
in.
Yes, I'm in mobile mode. I've got him by my mobile.
You know, JB, you doing okay, mate?
Yes, I'm very well, thank you. Yeah, we have one or two technical issues with the laptop, so we're just changing it slightly. So I'm going to just commentate from the laptop, but I'm going to commentate from the so I'm going to communicate by the mobile now. So that's why I didn't answer your call just then. But yeah, just so the teams are just about to come out, actually.
Yeah, I can see Arsenal just in the tunnel right now. We're getting ready for kick-off. Bramall Lane team's just making the way onto the field of play. And JB, looking at the two sides from this afternoon and the form that both sides have been in as well, which side would you say would be more up for this game? Which manager would you think would be the happier if their side got the result. Obviously, Eckenbottom would be to try and get more wins on the board there, but do you feel Arsenal would be likely to win this today?
You would say so, judging by logic. You look at Sheffield United, only 14 points, and Sheffield United have lost 4 of their 5. But Arsenal have been on a decent run. They've won 2 and drawn 2 of the last 5. So it's, it's all. I think it's all to play for. I think Sheffield United will want to try and go down. I think with a bit of a fight. I think Paul Eckenbottom will want that from his troops, but at the same time, I think Arsenal will want to improve. I fancy Arsenal tonight, but if I was to back, I think it could be a draw. But I mean, both teams really have got nothing to play for in terms of where they could finish up. I mean, Sheffield United are destined to finish rock bottom, as you know. Arsenal really struggling by their standards this season. I think they need a good summer transfer window to get themselves back on track. But I fancy Arsenal to win the game. As for a scoreline, I couldn't honestly tell you, but it could be anything tonight.
Yes, and just going through the teams again as well, just Sheffield United making 3 changes to that team, and John Egan, the captain tonight for Sheffield United, with Lacazette the captain for Arsenal. And what do you make to the decision for Lacazette to be captain by Mikel Arteta tonight, JB?
To be honest with you, I don't think there's much to do, but we're just going to... I don't think there's much to do for it. Anyway, we're just going to break off for a second, folks, because we're going to have a 2-minute silence to Prince Philip, the Duke of Edinburgh, who sadly died this week, aged 99. And there we are. 99 years old, Russ. Going back to your point, Russ, if you can still hear me, Russ. I think Lacazette being captain, I don't think will make any real difference. But I do honestly think Arsenal will need to play well. I think as long as he can lead the line as well and then just captain the side as and when he needs to, I think we'll be okay.
Yes, getting ready for kick-off then. I'm going to hand over to your match commentator, John Stuttard, a.k.a. JB.
Thanks, Ross, and welcome along to this game being played at Bramall Lane. And what a great tribute, of course, a great silence, of course, to Prince Philip. Of course, he was the chairman of the Football Association for many, many years, or the president of the FA for so many years. There's tonight's referee, Peter Banks from Merseyside. Let me just run through the teams for you quickly. Ramsdale, Egan, Ampadu, Stevens, Baldock, Fleck, Lundstrom, Morwood, Osborne, Burke and McGoldrick for Sheffield United. And Arsenal, Leno, Chambers, Holding, Murray, Partey, Xhaka, Pepe, Ceballos, Martinelli and Lacazette. The players will now take an ear in the ongoing fight against racism in football. And then Peter Banks, our referee, will get us up and running then. Arsenal in the all dark blue shirts, attacking the goal to my right-hand side. Sheffield United in those red and white stripes. And how they could do with a big end to the season. Mathematically, they're still in the Premier League. They're still not relegated yet. But if they lose again tonight, I fear it's another step towards that inevitable relegation. Sheffield United really need to have a big one tonight. Paul Eckingbottom, the caretaker, manage him until the end of the season. There's been talk of Sheffield United's next manager. What happened to Chris Wilder? It was a sad way to go for Chris Wilder, who had 5 magnificent years at Bramall Lane and just melted under the pressure of last year's unexpected top 10 finish. And it was always going to be a tough test to repeat that. There has been rumblings between him and the board at Bramall Lane over what may have gone wrong there. But a real opportunity for Sheffield United in front of the television cameras and in front of ourselves tonight to see what they can do. And here's John Egan now, number 12 on the ball for Sheffield United. Here's Oliver Norwood, a player actually who was born in Burnley, would you believe? Never played for the Burnley, but there you go. And the ball now back to John Egan, or rather Edler Stevens. Stevens plays that round, and number 23 now, Osborne, has possession, but it's knocked out of play for a Sheffield United throw. Halfway on the near side as we look. The ball knocked forward once again. And a little bit of a tussle going on there between Nicola Pepe and John Fleck there, number 4. And the ball now back to Aaron Ramsdale, who looks set to be relegated twice in 2 seasons with 2 different clubs. Bournemouth, he was relegated with last season. And looks like Sheffield United will be his second relegated club this year as the ball comes through, and it's Saka through on the far side, and his shot was brilliantly tipped away, I think, from goal there from Aaron Ramsdale. That's a good save because Saka hit that so well. I'm not sure if he saved it or not. It looks as if he saved it. He did reach up to try and get it. Let's have a look on the replay. It's a lovely defence splitting pass, and I'm not sure if he touched it or not. We're just looking at a reverse angle of it. No, he didn't touch it. It went clean as a whistle over the crossbar. There was no touches whatsoever. So a goal kick it is to Sheffield United. 2 minutes 30 on the clock here at Bramall Lane. Live on football commentary. Your new home, your home of alternative commentary. And here's our alternative offering for you here tonight as Osborne comes forward, picks out the chip cross there from number 14, Burke. Started his career at Nottingham Forest, went on to Germany, didn't really make an impression, came back. Done really well actually since joining Sheffield United in an individual sense. And it is worth noting, even though Sheffield United are going to be relegated and are more than likely now, thanks to West Brom's heroics against Chelsea last week, to be relegated in 20th place with just 14 points. It has been noted in some of the games they've only lost by the outgoing one or the outgoing four or 5. There have been close defeats, but they've just come out on the wrong side of most of their defeats this season. There has been only a couple of occasions from memory that I can remember them being completely fresh. But in most of their games, they've always been in with a shout, but they just haven't had the luck or the Dame fortune on their side as Pepe goes charging forward down the right-hand side, but it's Ramsdale who picks it up in his penalty area. 3 minutes gone. 0-0 is the score here live on football commentary. And Russ will be with you as well tonight. This is our final match of the evening. Earlier we saw Manchester United beat, you may have heard us commentate on the Tottenham game. West Ham had a terrific victory at home to Leicester City, 3-2 in an absolute cracker in that one. And Jose Mourinho now, there'll be calls for his head after a monumental defeat at Tottenham this evening against his old club, Manchester United. But here we're looking at Arsenal, and Pepe's been wrestled to the ground there by Osborne. Free kick to Arsenal on the right-hand side, about 10 yards inside the Sheffield United half. 0-0 at Bramall Lane as we come up to 20 seconds shy of the 5-minute mark here. here in this final Premier League game of the day. We've seen games being played at Turf Moor, and we've seen a game played at the London Stadium and at Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, and now we're at Bramall Lane for the final game of the quartet of games. There's 2 more tomorrow for you to flip over. Of course, we had 3 yesterday, and then the Friday game, which was a real topsy-turvy affair at Craven Cottage, where Fulham lost 1-0 to Wolves. Adama Traore scoring the only goal of the game. That was his first goal, in fact, for 16 months, which gave them victory. And at the moment, it's a free kick to Sheffield United. And we're just breaking off there for
seemed to have lost JB for a second there. We'll be back with him in a moment. It's Arsenal trying to come forward with Nicola Pepe inside the penalty area, ran inside the penalty area, but he's cut out. John Fleck is the extender for Sheffield United, but the offside flag was raised against Nicola Pepe, but nothing came of that attack there for Arsenal. Pepe had just gone a fraction too early there and was the man that was flagged offside. Inside there, we'll just try and reconnect to JB in a moment, but I can take over as Aaron Ramsdale with this free kick for Sheffield United. Coming up towards the 7-minute mark here at Bramall Lane. McGoldrick flicks on, coming towards Ollie Burke, but Leno's there to rush out of his goal to claim that. We've got JB back now, so we'll fetch him back in.
Yeah, thank you very much, Russ. Just had a technical problem there, but we are back live with you now. 7 minutes gone. It's Sheffield United 0, Arsenal 0. If you just joined us here on Football Commentary Live, you'd be able to listen on all platforms as Pepe comes charging forward, finds Saka now on the right-hand side. Saka's cross is a good one, but it's turned away for a throw into Arsenal, almost in line with the penalty area of Sheffield United as the ball was played in there. And still 0-0 it remains as Chambers takes the throw. And we're still live here for you. And we're still live here for you. I hope you can still hear me, folks, as Sheffield United have possession. Still 0-0 as we go past the 8-minute mark here at Bramall Lane. And the ball being played back now to Aaron Ramsdale. Ramsdale now trying to kick it away, right foot. And he does, right-footed, over towards the halfway line. Taken brilliantly there by McGoldrick. The ball over on the right-hand side as we look here. And it remains goalless here. You haven't missed a goal yet. As McGoldrick now gets the ball back, and he's back once more to John Egan. Looking to try and repair some of the damage Sheffield United from last season. And the ball on halfway. The ball played back once again. Russ, you'll have to take over for a second. I've got, hold on a minute. There's a chance here, and the ball's just gone wide. And it's behind for a goal kick, Russ. I'm going to just hand back to you a second because I've got something I need to sort out. I won't be a second.
No problem, JB, as that was a good chance there for McGoldrick there in the end for Sheffield United after a good play from Osborne. Fed into McGoldrick. His effort's just gone wide as Xhaka, I think he was, let's just have a look here. Granny Xhaka slipped in there down to the ground and just put the ball just wide of the target there. Arsenal now coming away with Saka inside to Nicola Pepe. Got Saka out on the right hand side of him. Bukayo Saka cuts inside. But Sheffield United tidy up well and will come to break down this left hand side. Here's McGoldrick now. Trying to pick out the run of his man over on that far side, which was Baldock, who couldn't get there in the end. And Sheffield United almost going on that right hand side. But Chambers now has it for Arsenal. Knocking it back to Olding. And now Thomas Partey out wide to Callum Chambers again. Olding. Back it goes to Leno. And now Pablo Mari across to Xhaka. Lacazette, the captain, gives the ball away and Sheffield United have it back with John Egan, their captain. Now Ender Stevens back. It goes to Aaron Ramsdale in the Sheffield United goal. Here's Stevens again. Ball into Fleck. Back to Ramsdale. Ramsdale controls and it's cleared downfield. Chambers wins the header and Arsenal have it back. Pepe back towards Chambers. Was knocked out of play for a throw to Arsenal by Ender Stevens. You're listening to the home of alternative commentary, football commentary live. I'm Russ Vernon. We'll be with John Stuttard once he's back with us as Oldham plays a ball forward and no one could get into it for Arsenal. And now Sheffield United coming forward with Ethan Ampadu out wide to low, back to Ampadu and back to low again, and he feeds in John Egan, who will find Ramsdale, who takes a touch with his right foot, and again, and now clear right footed to Lundstrom, back it goes to Ramsdale, back to Lundstrom and across now to Ender Stevens, who can't play the ball down the line for Osborne, and he's out for a throw. Ben Osborne having a good run here. Paul Eckingbottom, the former Leeds man and caretaker charge, following the departure of Chris Wilder. And Sheffield United with Ender Stevens hits the ball forward, looking for David McGoldrick, who controls well. McGoldrick. And the ball is out of play. It's a I think the flag may have gone for offside. It has. By James Manowarin over on that far side. Chambers will take Ramsdale in goal there for Sheffield United. And now is Xhaka. Well, is Xhaka for Arsenal. It's Thomas Partey. Now Bukayo Saka. Still going Saka and controlling it well. Here's Nicola Pepe being held onto by Stevens, but Pepe still keeps the ball for Arsenal. And here's Pepe again. Inside towards Saka. Saka, how wide it goes. Lovely run here from Saka. How wide it now? Ball down the line. Ceballos with the ball in. He went to Martinelli. And Ceballos' cross. Blocked behind for a corner. And good play there from Arsenal over on that far side. Fantastic run. But didn't control well there. And he's come off. Well, I could come off an arm there. And well, nothing he could do about it. The referee's just talking to one of the two of the Arsenal players there. As They're trying to time waste so early on in this game is unreal. Time waste very early on here, and I can't work out why they tried to do that. As Arsenal have the corners, Nicola Pepe, 15 minutes gone, 0-0. If you're just joining us here on Football Commentary, the home of alternative commentary towards Lacazette, it's cleared away the near post, and Sheffield United will put the pressure on us. Once from forward, Osborne trying to get there at Xhaka. Xhaka's across there well to tidy up, and Thomas Partey will control the ball. Denis Ceballos there for Arsenal. Now Partey. And now Granit Xhaka. How wide it goes to Ceballos. Here's Partey. Good bit of play. Now hold him. Keeps hold of possession there, does Rob Holding. And now Arsenal come forward with Saka. How wide now? Here's Ceballos. He's got Lacazette outside of him. Now Ceballos tries to play it in towards the back. It's Chambers across the goal. No one in there for Arsenal, and Sheffield United can get the ball clear. With Baldock. Now Burke, and now Lowe. And Sheffield United keeping possession well. Here's Norwood who knocks the ball forward. Good control there. Egan has possession, and we have to fetch JB back in. Right, now here's Stevens. Back to Egan. And as Egan fetches the ball forward and also win it back, we'll hand over to JB as Pepe picks up possession.
Well, it's a corner to Arsenal as you join me, actually, as you rejoin me. I'm sorry about that. Again, it wasn't a technical difficulty. I had to sort something out there as, you've got to sort out stuff. So anyway, hopefully we'll have no more intrusions and we'll be able to go. Hopefully the rest of the commentary will go a bit more smoothly. Let's hope so. It's been a bit of a nightmare start, but sometimes your first broadcast is always the worst one, and you can only improve from here. But mercifully, it's still 0-0 anyway, from my personal commentating point of view. Anyway, 0-0 here as Arsenal in the darker shirts attack the goal to my right as the ball is played in there. Pepe with a little touch back, and now Holding has it on the near side as we look, and as Partey brings the ball forward, and Saka's there too. And here's an opportunity now for Arsenal as they look to get this opening goal. Ball gets a deflection. Chambers knocks it back across the face of the goal there from the right-hand side. And Sheffield United get that one away. But worrying signs at the moment for Sheffield United. They do look a little bit fragile in defence. As the ball is now cleared away to safety for them, and Fleck has it now, or rather, sorry, Egan has it now, and he finds Stevens, number 3. Stevens back to John Egan again. Getting my Johns mixed up a little bit here. Quarter of an hour overplayed, and McGoldrick plays the ball forward, but he's lost possession, and this is Pepe now bringing the ball forward. Pepe getting the ball back, playing a 1-2 with Saka, but it's well defended again. But Sheffield United give the ball away, then Saka goes forward, and then again it's lobbed away by the Sheffield United defence. McGoldrick now takes it on the chest, just shy of halfway on the left-hand side. Osborne now knocks the ball forward. Norwood is there too. Burke back to Osborne. And here's a chance now again for Norwood to come forward. A very underrated player, Oliver Norwood. And I think he's a very talented player, a big player for Sheffield United, a really talented player. Just because Sheffield United are going to be relegated doesn't mean they've got a bad side. As I was saying earlier, it's the defeats they've had this season they've not been too far from actually taking points from any of the games. Most of the games they've lost. It's always been the odd goal in 3, the odd goal in 1, the odd goal in 5 that they've lost by. So they've not lost by much. Yes, they've had the odd thrashing here or there, but like most teams do when they come up against the big boys, they do tend to do that. But that's what will frustrate the Sheffield United hierarchy a little bit, because they are a very good side. When they're on song and on form, they are very well organised. The last meeting, in fact, between these two sides was the odd goal in 3 was edged out, and Arsenal edged out Sheffield United 2-1 earlier in the season. Here's Ceballos now on the far side. He finds the ball over on the far side, and Xhaka now plays that out to the far side. Ceballos again looking for a crossfield ball opportunity. He finds Callum Chambers, who finds Nicola Pepe right hand side. Pepe does really well, but he played the ball behind Saka. But Thomas Partey picks the ball up. Partey shoots, deflects to Callum Chambers right hand side. Ball deflects again off Osborne. The ball then ricocheting around at the moment. Norwood making a bit of a mess to clear it. Now he's getting it out towards Ben Osborne. Osborne has to cut back, and now Norwood from Fleck back to Aaron Ramsdale. Ramsdale now under pressure from Arsenal's captain of the night, Alex Lacazette, does really well. Still 0-0 here at Bramall Lane on commentary, Football Commentary Live, the new enterprising website, and it's going to be a runaway success. And if you're watching or listening to the game on Russ Vernon's channel, of course, RV's channel, don't forget to give his channel a like and hit the notification bell. We are on YouTube, and I think we're on Twitch and Periscope as well, and on Facebook too. So you'll be able to hear my dulcet tones now on many different social media platforms this evening. How lucky are you guys tonight? Of course, I do most of my commentary work for my own channel, JB Sports, and yeah, I'm still basking in my glorious horse racing debut yesterday on Trevor's channel, of course, Trevor Sports. Meanwhile, back in the real world, a free kick has been given on halfway against Nicola Pepe on Ben Osborne, and a free kick to Sheffield United on the near side, right on halfway. Just a clear little unnecessary shove there by Nicola Pepe. Sheffield United now looking to really go exert themselves, but they've made a bit of a mess of that. In fact, they've given the free kick to Arsenal. Peter Banks, the referee. In fact, it's a throw. They made a bit of a dog's dinner of it, and it went out of play. So Peter Banks has signalled a throw. Of course, we've got VAR, the dreaded VAR. Of course, that's rearing its ugly head again this weekend. Of course, with some controversial decisions. Let's hope we don't get too many of those tonight, and clear cut and obvious. And that's, I'll tell you what, I'm talking from a commentator's point of view now. VAR has certainly, and the rule changes this season have certainly been a headache for commentators like myself who've commentated on many, many games this season elsewhere as well. And it's always a headache when you think you've seen a perfectly good goal and it's whirled out. And Lacazette's won the ball, and Egan just a little bit too eager there. Osborne touching it back now to John Egan. And now Norwood stabs it forward to Fleck. Now Osborne down the near side. And he says to Oliver Burke, go and chase that one if you can. And but the ball is now back with Leno. And still 0-0 as we come up towards... we must be heading towards the halfway point of the first half. We've had 21 3/4 minutes of the first half here at over here in Yorkshire. Very deserted Bramall Lane, and there's new government restrictions being held. We'll just break off for a second because the goalkeeper comes tearing out of his goal there as Arsenal looked to put an attack together. I think it was Ceballos going through there, and it came back, and Ramsdale did well. Manuel Neuer, and then he hits it straight at Lacazette. And luckily for Aaron Ramsdale, it came ricocheted off Lacazette's legs and blooped up into his arms. That would have been an embarrassing moment. This was a back pass this time. He went right footed and he hit it straight at Lacazette's knee. And he's very fortunate there, Ramsdale. That cannon off his knees right into his grasp again, because I'll tell you what, if Van had flown in, it would have been a red-faced moment for Sheffield United's Aaron Ramsdale. 0-0. And in Burners, it would typify their bad luck this season has been. It's been a really disastrous, well, I wouldn't say disastrous season, because nobody's obviously died, but it's been a calamitous season in terms of horrendous luck for Sheffield United. And you consider, well, they did last season, but there were murmurs from previous manager Chris Wilder that he wasn't given enough to spend by the hierarchy. But I'm sure that debate will run on, and I think that's probably for another day. Sheffield United 0, Arsenal 0. 23.5 minutes almost gone. Osborne to take the throw-in line with the 18-yard box on the near side of Arsenal. And here's Osborne now. Gets across, gets a slight deflection, falls here to Lacazette. And Lacazette can now get Saka on his way down the right-hand side. Lovely back flick there from Cabas. The skill of the season for me, that. And here's a chance now for Martinelli. Martinelli shoots across goal, and I think it's into the side netting. I think some of the Arsenal bench thought it had gone in the back of the net. There was a little bit of a cheer there, but I can assure you folks that it wasn't an Arsenal opening goal. It's gone into the side netting, and it remains with 24 on the clock. Sheffield United 0, Arsenal 0. But Martinelli going close there. And also it would have took a lot, I'm sure, to have beaten Aaron Ramsdale at the near post. I think he did have his left-hand post covered sufficiently enough anyway.
Yes, we've got a few comments in as well, JB, from our friend Mike Horneman. He says, "Hi, JB and Russ, we need to get a win here today to have any chance of getting European football through the league. All boss still having a chance for the Europa League for Champions League place." He's going on to say about the virtual Grand National. He says it was great, really enjoyed that. Shame he couldn't have a bet on that one because the money they had in the real one didn't get in anything. His money went down the drain. And he also says, "Nice to see Martinelli get some football." And that's coming from Mike. He says, "Sheffield United have always given us a good game. Even in the FA Cup, we were fortunate to get past them because of Ceballos' goal."
Yes, very forthright comments there from our resident producer and Arsenal fan, Mike Harniman, who is a terrific broadcaster in his own right, of course, and you'll be able to hear a lot more of him on this channel as well. As Stevens crosses into the area, just beat McGoldrick to it, but there's a foul inside the penalty area by David McGoldrick, and a free kick it is to Arsenal, which will clear a little bit of respite for them. Yeah, I felt sorry for. Well, he should have gone. He should have backed Manila Times, Mike, and Rachel Blackmore. What a ride she had yesterday at Aintree, and there was no more. And a great moment for women's sport, and in particular Rachel Blackmore, who was also one of the top jocks at Cheltenham last month as well. But in the Trevor Sports World Universe, it was a great finish to the Grand National. I won't tell you what happened in it. If you haven't seen it, check it out after the match. Anyway, back to the game here and into the real world. We're in the real world at the moment here as Nketiah goes, not Nketiah. He's on the bench. Partey, goes forward. Now Martinelli. Martinelli finds Ceballos. Ceballos now turning away from 2 or 3 red and white striped opponents. And thank you for Russ to helping me out earlier on when we were having 1 or 2 difficulties at my end. But I can tell you that everything is now perfectly ship-shape and Bristol fashion. And mercifully for me anyway, no goals have been scored. But let's hope we get a few more. Hopefully we'll get a good game of football tonight. And I think we're seeing a good game played in a very good sort of FA Cup tie spirit. It's an end-to-end stuff as Oliver Burke tries to match onto a back pass there from Rob Holding deep inside Arsenal territory, and did well there, Holding, just to get it away. Now Pepe at the other end. As he attacks the Sheffield United to go away to my right. Edna Stevens puts it out for a throw. On the relegation zone, doesn't look as if Newcastle had a good day. Unfortunately for me, from a personal point of view, beating Burnley 2-1. West Ham into the top 4 with a great win over Leicester. And of course, Manchester United beating Tottenham. And there could be problems now for Tottenham. Harry Kane has said if they don't qualify for top 4 and win a trophy, then he could be on his way in the summer. That's what I've heard round the doors. Well, we'll just have to see how that plays out over the summer. Meanwhile, here in this game, Arsenal who drew in their Europa League match the other night, 1-1. They've got the second leg to come on Thursday night, and it's a tournament they really have to take seriously. Of course, they've got serious competition from the likes of Ajax, Roma, Manchester United, amongst others. So that's not cut and dry yet as Chambers gets the crossing, half blocked there by Ben Osborne, and now the ball is with Saka, who's having plenty to say for himself in this opening 28 minutes. Partey lifts the ball in. Lacazette back to Partey. Almost got Saka in there. It was lovely, intricate football from Arsenal there, showing a touch of the Wenger tiki-taka from a few years ago. If only they had an Henry in the final third, they might have been in for a goal by now. But Sheffield United, to their credit, very much holding their own here. The bottom side holding their own against the side who are 11th place because Leeds overtook them with a real smashing victory with 10 men against Manchester City yesterday. I'm sure our host was quite pleased with that, and I'm sure he's still buzzing off with excitement from that, and I'm sure we'll hear all of that at half time. Xhaka has been penalised, by the way. This really is handball, I think. I think he almost caught the ball, to be quite honest with you. Anyway, 0-0 here as we come up towards the half-hour mark here. We're just 30 seconds shy of that, incidentally. Here's McGoldrick, edge of the area, Arsenal area, but Arsenal get it away. The good open field to the game. I think that's going to suit both sides. Possession, 46 Sheffield United percentages this is, and Arsenal 54%. And as the clock ticks now to just shy of 20-8 at night, and the pitch looks in absolute pristine condition, considering all the awful weather we've had over the last sort of few days or so. Hail, sleet, snow, rain. We've had just about the lot across the country. It's almost felt like the middle of winter as opposed to early spring, late spring. It'll be summer by this time next month. Anyway, here's Saka now, edge of the Sheffield United area. Martinelli now getting in onto his right foot, and his shot was a good one, but it's straight as a dive save from Aaron Ramsdale. He got everything behind it. But Martinelli's now just had a couple of sightings at goal, which is a little bit worrying for Sheffield United. Cuts inside here from the left, gets his shot off, and in fact, he took a wicked deflection here off one of the defenders. It may have actually been Norwood. Yes, it came off Norwood, and well, good bit of juggling there from Aaron Ramsdale, the former Bournemouth goalkeeper. Has made a couple of England squads in the past without making much impression on and getting into the lineups for Gareth Southgate's men. As Saka now comes away with the ball for the blue-shirted Arsenal. Tries a 1-2, like I said, gets it back now. Saka to Martinelli, far side. Martinelli again goes to the byline, gets a low cross in. It goes past everybody. Chance here for Karen Chambers. It's almost off the line. The shot hit it left-footed. It comes to Chambers again. Arsenal so close to going into the lead. Here's Chambers again. Back to Saka. Saka dispossessed brilliantly there by David McGoldrick. And here's Oliver Norwood now to bring it away down the Sheffield United left-hand side. Egan now to Osborne. Osborne knocking it forward just too high for McGoldrick. And the ball is picked up by Pablo Mari on the edge, on the halfway line, I should say. Ceballos now. Busy little midfield player, of course, with the Arsenal getting an opportunity. But a lot of Arsenal fans I've listened to on social media and a certain fan TV channel have called for Martinelli to play. You can see why they like Martinelli so much. He makes things happen. And this opening half an hour, he certainly makes things happen. Bring a chance here now. Goal for Lacazette into the right-hand corner. And it was only a question of time. The intricate Arsenal play has got through the Sheffield United defence. And I fear for Sheffield United at that point, because Arsenal were playing some lovely intricate 1-2s on the edge of the Sheffield United box. And they just couldn't get a foot in. And Arsenal's persistence has really paid off. Saka with a lovely weighted ball. Little flick there from Ceballos to set it up. Lacazette was definitely onside, I felt, as the ball was played. Yeah, no problem there. And the shot and a call right foot, side foot into the right corner beyond Aaron Ramsdale's dive to his left-hand side. So a nice little settler there for Arsenal. It's taken them the best part of 33 minutes, but they're in the lead now, 1-0. And if they can hold on now, they'll go into the top half and still give themselves a chance for Europe next season. Well, another bad goal really for Sheffield United to give away. Paul Heckingbottom will be a little annoyed about that. He actually played well in the FA Cup the other week, the quarter-final against Chelsea. Had chances in the game, but Chelsea went through in that one. 2-0, as it turned out. But that goal on 33 from Lacazette, the Arsenal skipper, setting really a captain's example. And he's finishing his and half bad. I think when he gets the chance to shine up front, he invariably never lets Arsenal down as well. So Arsenal really turning up the power here on Sheffield United, and another miserable night it could well be. Here's Saka again. They're looking for a second one straight away. Like I said, trying to return the compliment, almost got it through to Saka, who may have actually been a smidgen offside, but it mattered not anyway because the ball fell kindly for goalkeeper Aaron Ramsdale. But once again, it wasn't offside. The first touch was poor though. But once again, Sheffield United, they're picking holes through this defence. I think Arsenal could have a lot of joy in the final third here tonight. I really do. Here's Ramsdale, kicks away from his arms with the right foot, and he's gone nearly three-quarter length down the field. Sheffield United get a throw midway inside the Arsenal half. They trail by a goal to nil. They have to chase the game, which in fact will play well into Arsenal's hands on the counter-attack. Osborne now. They have to go for it, Sheffield United. I don't think there's any doubt at all about that. But Mikel Arteta under fire by a lot of Arsenal fans. A lot of people, certainly the Arsenal supporters, wanted Max Allegri when Wenger left a few years ago. Unai Emery. But some Arsenal fans just didn't cut the mustard, as it proved with that horrible defeat in Baku 2 years ago in the Europa final to Chelsea. And then Mikel Arteta, I mean, he's won an FA Cup and a Community Shield this season, but in the league they just haven't really made too much of an impression, which is really disappointing because I think Arsenal are one of those teams, if they are consistently really, really good, I think there are a lot of people's second favourite sides in terms of the way they play the game, the way they pass and move, the way they can create spaces and pick holes in the opposition defence. And that, unfortunately, hasn't been the case on a consistent basis. And of course, there has been murmurs of discontent in the camp. I covered them on another YouTube channel, my own YouTube channel, when Burnley won there earlier this season, and they looked out to sort in a bit of discontent, and of course Aubameyang scored an own goal. Sorry to bring that up, Mike, but I'm basking in that, still in that glory to this day. But anyway, but Arsenal in good command here as we go into the final 10 minutes plus stoppage time of the first half here. It's a very sort of dull Bramall Lane here tonight, but a very good game of football nevertheless. The long ball forward and onside is Martinelli. Sheffield United playing the offside game. It didn't work that time. Martinelli now cuts inside. Just didn't have enough support in the middle, and by the time support had arrived, he'd lost possession. There's not a lot else he could have done. Now Osborne has it on the left-hand side for Sheffield United. Near side as I look. Ball back to Hedner Stevens. Stevens is not the player that I saw last season, bounding down the left-hand side and crossing nicely in there. But they have lost one or two key individuals as well, which hasn't helped. Dean Henderson, no disrespect to Aaron Ramsdale, was a far better goalkeeper in terms of the shot-stopping ability. I'm not saying Ramsdale's any worse, but when I look at Sheffield United, they are a team devoid of any ideas and confidence, and that always is a bit of a worry. As Paul Heckingbottom there, a thankless job, but the hierarchy at Sheffield United, once they do go down to the Championship, which inevitably is going to be the case, they do go down that route, then they have to choose that next manager very carefully. There has been murmurs that he could be moving up to Celtic, Chris Wilder, but those rumours seem to have been quashed. This is the goal again. Lovely back flick from Ceballos just to get Lacazette in, and it's a cool finish by the Arsenal skipper for the night. And yeah, gets the applause from his boss, Mikel Arteta. And just a good moment there that Arsenal needed there in more ways than one, because Sheffield United were frustrating Arsenal for quite a large period of the first half, but they held out for only 33 minutes. And Arsenal now well in control of this Premier League game. Starting the night in 11th place, but can go into the top 10, I think, with a fancy with a victory here tonight. And they're looking odds on to do that tonight. But Arsenal aren't exactly what you call strong at the back. All they could do with that back four, that famous back four of Seaman, Adams, Keown, Dixon and Winterburn. Now they were the back four. Steve Bold as well. Before David Seaman, John Lukic, they had a great back defensive line, Arsenal. Never gave too many goals away. And if they did, they were always spectacular goals. Gaza 3 kick in 91 and Naeem's goal in 95 being two prime examples of that. The attempts, just a one for Sheffield United, 6 for Arsenal, none on target for Sheffield United, unfortunately for them, and 2 for Arsenal, one of them being the goal scored by Alex Lacazette. So at the moment, I can't really give any optimism for any Sheffield United fan listening, but at the moment, it's a thankless task for Paul Heckingbottom, who's never managed at the top flight as a number one before, has managed in the lower levels, has managed Barnsley in the past when they've been in the Championship, or a bit further down than that. But it is a thankless task for anyone who could have replaced Chris Wilder at this point in the season. Here's Pepe now, takes it down beautifully on the Arsenal right, and the ball just goes out of play, and I think you'll find that's an Arsenal corner. 5 minutes to half time here, plus stoppage time at Bramall Lane. Sheffield United 0, Arsenal 1 is the score. And you're listening to Football Commentary Live, the home of alternative commentary. Well, it's one of the homes of alternative commentary. There is another home that I sort of make myself. That's a bit on the alternate side, but I'm not here at JB Sports. I'm here on Russ's channel as well. We're on 5 different platforms, including Facebook, YouTube, and Periscope. As the ball comes in towards the near post, good corner. Martinelli shoots, deflects wide of the target. It came off a Sheffield United player last. It will be a corner. I think it was McGoldrick who got in the way. I think that was going goal bound from Martinelli. Shot on the edge of the penalty area, or just inside the area. And I'll tell you what, there was 2 players attempting to block Martinelli's shot. One was McGoldrick. The other one I'm trying to work out, was it Norwood or Fleck? Might have been John Fleck, actually. Anyway, it's a Nicola Pepe corner coming up from the left-hand side. 41.5 minutes gone. We've got about 3.5 minutes plus injury time to be played. Referee Peter Banks not happy with a little bit of pushing and jostling inside that 6-yard area. It's going to be awkward one. This one for Aaron Ramsdale. I think this might be an outswinger from Nicola Pepe. Yes, it's an outswinger towards the near post. Martinelli couldn't get anywhere near it. And here's McGoldrick on the break, but he's surrounded by about 5 Arsenal defenders, but it came off the back of his heel. And here's a chance now for Arsenal to break out and score this potentially second goal. No, not this time. Good defending from Sheffield United. Don't forget to keep leaving your comments, and we'll get Russ in at half-time to read them out for you during the half-time interval. We've got some great commentaries coming up for you on this station from now to the end of the season on Football Commentary Live, and I think it's a great idea to have this, and it's a privilege to be commentating for the first time tonight for this station. And I think the commentary's got a little bit better now that we've ironed out all the technical snags and whatnot. But here's a chance now for McGoldrick, left-hand side. McGoldrick darts into the area. Chance here for McGoldrick. Arsenal a little bit at sea, and the ball deflects away. It's a corner. And all of a sudden, in this last couple of minutes, Sheffield United have started to find a little bit of energy from somewhere and win their first corner of the match. Arsenal have already had 3. So John Egan and Ampadu both forward from the back. Ampadu on loan from Chelsea. Can they force an equalising goal, which will be a real blow for Arsenal? This would be, as the ball played back to Oliver Norwood. It's a good ball in, and Arsenal get it clear, but not very far. It's still darting around in the Arsenal area. Shot came in, and a good save from Leno to deny. I think it might have been actually John Egan. Let's have a look at it again. The ball played back there. Burke. Or Norwood's ball in, and in fact, I think it was John Egan, the centre back. Not your average, typical centre back's finish. He tested Leno there, who bumbled it initially, but had enough wherewithal and enough room for manoeuvre to pounce on the rebound at the second attempt. Arsenal have the ball down the far side, and Martinelli beaten to it again, and it'll be a throw in. Ampadu getting across. It'll be a throw in on the far side to Arsenal, almost level with the 18-yard box of Sheffield United. So plenty for Paul Heckingbottom to do at half time. But one thing you won't want to do as we go to the final 30 seconds of normal time at Bramall Lane is concede another one, because it'll make the half-time team talk that little bit more tricky. They can still repair the damage at 1-0. Lacazette inside the area, and the ball deflects for another Arsenal corner. That's their 4th, I make it, in this first half. Sheffield United 0, Arsenal 1 is the score, and you'll be able to see you'll be able to see the scoreboard flash at the bottom of your screen. 1 added minute, incidentally, at the end of the first half. You can also follow us on Twitter at Commentary Live as well. So they do have a Twitter handle, Football Commentary Live. Commentary Live is the Twitter handle if you want to follow the channel on Twitter, of course. And Russ and Mike do a fantastic job of maintaining everything else, and a good team of commentators, of course, likes of Matt Isles, Nicholas Jones, Russ himself, and several others as well. Too many to mention as we go into the final 20 seconds of the one stoppage time, and the ball was scrambling around a little bit, and it's an Arsenal throw. And honestly, it's a great channel, and they cover all areas of football, not just the Premier League. They've been known to cover a few of the lower league games as well. League 2 being a prime example. Referee Peter Banks just sorting 1 or 2 things out. We have gone past the 1 minute. Now VAR is actually checking for a penalty, possibly. Is it for handball? Handball now. This is going to take a little while. So this is going to be, well, there might have been a potential handball against Stevens, but I think it was totally accidental anyway. So Arsenal get on with the game with a throw, but there goes the referee's whistle to bring the end of a very satisfactory first half, I have to say, for Arsenal. Sheffield United have come close towards the end of the first half with John Egan, but it's the goal from Lacazette, a beautiful move, combined with a lovely flick to set him through, and he put it in unerringly into the right-hand corner. And Arsenal, on balance of play and on chances created, thoroughly deserve to be at least 1 up, if not more up, really. They should be more than the 1 goal they've scored. Martinelli's come close on a couple of occasions. One occasion, he hit the side netting. But as we hand back to Russ in the studio, it's half-time at Bramall Lane. Sheffield United 0, Arsenal 1. Alex Lacazette's goal on 33 minutes, the difference. Russ.
Thank you very much there, JB. And we'll be back with JB just before the start of the second half. We'll be bringing in one of our good friends and fellow commentator on the channel, Mike Conneman, for his thoughts at half time. He did put some thoughts in during the game. He said it was frustrating that the Europa League game, with the chances they created, they should have been out of sight by the end of that first leg, which I completely agree with. On the goal from Lacazette, says Lacazette doesn't miss those. Great build-up and a cool, composed finish for Alexander Lacazette. He's also going on to say he thinks that's why Arteta's put Xhaka at left back, so he's got Martinelli, Pepe, and Saka supporting Lacazette, and so far it's certainly worked well, he reckons. And Arsenal, with a win, like Marcus pointed out, would go ninth above Leeds on goal difference ahead in the table, and Arsenal having a fantastic season so far. Arsenal going absolutely well in the season. Some great Football League news which happened earlier on today, which I didn't get around to mention on the other streams, came out of Forest Green Rovers, a team which myself and Nicholas Jones covered just not so long ago when they took on Bolton in League Two action. Forest Green Rovers are part of company with head coach Mark Cooper after 5 years of working together, a tenure which made him one of the longest serving coaches in English football, during which the club achieved its historic promotion to the Football League. As a result of the change, assistant head coach Richard Dryden has also left the club, and under-18s boss Jimmy Ball will be interim head coach for the first team until the end of the season. Further updates will be provided to supporters over the coming days, says the club statement. And Dale Vince, their chairman, says the decision they've made today is about giving themselves the best chance of securing promotion with 6 games left to play. So, Forest Green Rovers replacing their manager at this moment in time. We've got our resident Arsenal fan and our friend on and fellow commentator now able to join us live while he's been watching this game. And Mike Orneman, very good evening to you, my friend, and welcome back to Football Commentary Live for the second time today. And what have you made to that first half performance from Arsenal?
Yeah, so evening Russ, evening JB as well. Great first half commentary there. And yeah, I thought we've played some decent stuff at times. The goal was, a real lovely bit of football, good move, and was tucked away nicely by Alex Lacazette. He doesn't very often miss those when he's in those sort of positions. He's one of the more clinical of the front men, especially this season. He's been in a lot better form than what Aubameyang has, and you'd fancy Lacazette to be putting it away as he did. But yeah, it's quite a cagey game. And I know we played some good stuff, but of course, I think Mikel Arteta has actually seen the weaknesses in that Sheffield United defence, and is even putting Granit Xhaka at left back to our advantage this evening. And it's an interesting one to see if Sheffield United are able to get at him in the second half, because of course that's not his out and out position. He doesn't fancy Cedric there, does the manager as well. Of course, Cedric played there in midweek in the Europa League game and wasn't fantastic, but at least he knows how to defend. He's actually a defender, and of course, yes, he is a right back, but he's filled in at left back on a number of other occasions as well. So I'm sure that might be something that Mikel Arteta looks at in the second half, to have a little play around there again and see whether he fancies maybe bringing Granit Xhaka into midfield. But I think the performance has been pretty good so far, and I think to have Saka, Pepe, and Martinelli all there and supporting Lacazette, it's working well. And Sheffield United's never an easy place to go to. Of course, yes, they're struggling this season, but they have done the double over Liverpool, so it's certainly a side that, when they're on their A game, are able to get results, and it's going to make for an interesting second half. But on the balance of play, I think we deserve to be one up as we are at the break.
Yes, and a lot, like JB said, Mike, towards the end of his roundup there before he handed back to me to studio, Arsenal could have had more goals as well, couldn't they? They had chances to get them more goals, and they really should have had probably more goals. Wouldn't you say, Mike?
Well, if you look at the chances created on the balance of play, then yeah, you have to say that Arsenal have had opportunities there. Even right at the very end, there was the VAR of the potential penalty, which I believe to be the correct decision as well. I think the referee got that one right. It would have been harsh on Sheffield United if that was given, but there has been opportunities in there, and I'm sure Sheffield United are going to have to come out in the second half and really try and attack, and that will leave them vulnerable at the back. And of course, they are one of the sides that have conceded vast amount of goals this season. And with the front four of Arsenal there, then there's certainly enough on show to go on and possibly see this one to, maybe a 2 or 3 more goals in the second half from an Arsenal perspective.
Yes, and now looking at the Arsenal bench, you've got Bellerin who's played a left back as well. You mentioned he's not favoured. Cedric today has gone with Granit Xhaka in that position. Do you feel if he decides to put Bellerin there instead of Xhaka, the scoreline would have been the same as the break from the first half, or do you reckon Sheffield United would have probably had a few more chances and probably may have gone all level, depending on what do you make to? Do you reckon if Bellerin played a left back, Sheffield United probably would have had more chances to probably go on the score sheet tonight?
Bellerin is very hit and miss with Arsenal fans anyway, even when he plays in his natural position at right back. There's a lot of Arsenal fans that get on his back and very critical of the way that he plays and the space he leaves when he goes forward, and he kind of leaves a lot of space at the back there for other teams to get in behind. And yeah, so there's always that opportunity. I don't think Bellerin's actually ever played at left back. I think it's only Cedric that has. And if Bellerin was over on that left-hand side, I'm sure plenty of Arsenal fans would be coming out and complaining a bit because, as I said before, when he's in his natural position, that's what the majority of Arsenal fans do. The Spanish international gets quite a bit of stick, sometimes unjustly as well.
Yes, and now going forward into the second half with Arsenal obviously leading 1-0 going into this second half. You've got the likes of Aziz and Ketia on the bench, Nelson from the academy, plus experienced pros like El Nane, Cedric, William Gabriel, and Hector Bellerin, along with Moran, the goalkeeper. If Arsenal went 2-3, maybe 3-4-0 up by say around about 60th minute in this game, would you give someone like Aziz and Ketia and Nelson a run out in this side?
First of all, that's a big if. Arsenal always do things the hard way, whether it's the league, whether it's the FA Cup, the League Cup, the Europa League, whatever competition it is, Arsenal always do things the hard way. So that is probably 99% not going to happen. And I see Sheffield United probably getting the next goal and making it a real fight for Arsenal and a real dogged, game really. But yeah, if Arsenal want to go on and get a couple of goals in the second half, then why not? Why not give Reiss Nelson a bit of a run out and Eddie and Ketia as well? I'm sure if Mikel Arteta's men go on and get a couple of goals, he'll want to rest as many players as he can for Thursday's big Europa League game. I think he wants to probably take Lacazette off. He'll probably want to take Martinelli or Pepe off, one of those two. I'm sure Saka will probably get sacrificed maybe as well. So there's a lot of players in there that Mikel Arteta will want to rest and keep fresh for the next game. And of course, that's a needs must. Of course, that's such a huge game on Thursday. A tie that really should be out of sight on the back of the way that we performed on Thursday against Slavia Prague. And no disrespect to them, they've got a very, very good home record. And, I'm sure Arsenal are going to go out there wanting to grab themselves a goal and, put it back in their favour again. But Slavia Prague, as we mentioned on on Wednesday's stream, I think it was when I was doing the Champions League, we were talking about the game a little bit in regards to my predictions and everything for that. And Slavia, of course, knocked out Leicester, they've knocked out Rangers, and they've got an equalising goal right at the death against Arsenal as well, and put themselves in the ascendancy, really. But that game and the tie really should have been done on Thursday. And Mikel Arteta, if they decide to go on and get another 2 goals or maybe 3 goals, whatever it may be, will want to rest as many players for that huge tie as he can.
Yes, Mike, if I were to push you, with the score currently 1-0 to Arsenal, and the famous song 1-0 to the Arsenal, as fans normally sing in matches, if I were to push you for a final score prediction, Mike, do you reckon it's going to stay 1-0 to the Arsenal, or do you reckon you can see Arsenal getting more goals?
So as I said, Arsenal never do things the easy way, so that means Sheffield United will probably come out second half and equalise straight away within the first few minutes. So my prediction on the game itself was a 2-1 victory, so I'll stick with that. I'll stick with a 2-1, and I think that's a good result to take into Thursday. We'll move up to 9th in the league as well, overtake Leeds and Aston Villa. On goal difference, we'll jump above your boys Leeds, and yeah, it's we need that to get through the European football. So to get into European football, I should say, in the league. And yeah, it's a big game. if you look at the fixtures, we've got favourable fixtures really by Chelsea and Everton. They're the two most difficult ones in there, but it's a funny old season. And of course, without fans, you've seen some crazy results. So never count your chickens. But I do expect Arsenal to go on and get the 3 points today, and then go into Thursday's game with that little bit of confidence, and just hopefully we're able to get the job done out in Prague.
Yes, thank you very much for joining us, Mike. I'll let you get off ready for the start of the second half, which will be kicking off very, very shortly indeed. So thank you very much for joining us, Mike. And if you're around at full time, we may get you on for your thoughts at the end of the match as well.
Yeah, not to worry. I'll probably jump back on at full time. That's perfectly fine.
Cheers then, Mike, and we'll speak to you again soon, mate, yeah?
Cheers, Russ. Thanks a lot.
So there's the thoughts of Mike Orneman at half-time, the resident Arsenal fan here on Football Commentary Live, the home of alternative commentary as well. You can follow us on Twitter. Commentary Live 1 is the best place to do so. You can get involved in the conversation over there. We'll be posting some news up and some polls up there after the matches tomorrow about the Premier League action, and ask what you think the best result was. I'll pick a few results. I'll put polls up on there. Now to fetch in JB for ahead of the second half. And JB, looking to the second half, mate, how do you see the second half going? Do you think, like Mike, Sheffield United could get something first of all, or do you reckon Arsenal?
We've just can I just say, Russ, we've just started, and Sheffield United have just forced a corner in the opening 30 seconds. They've started the second half really well, mate, and let's just stay with me because we've got the corner to come. And here's Fleck playing the ball forward, and it's knocked away by Arsenal towards the halfway line. We'll just see this attack out, and then I'll answer your question in a second or two. And the ball comes to Norwood now, right-hand side, a little chip back, and Arsenal on the back foot. And Leno with a very dicey punch away, and the ball runs dead into touch, and it will be an Arsenal goal kick. Right, if you're still with me, Russ, I'll answer your question. Arsenal really need to get their defensive head on. I still think Arsenal should win this game in the position they're in, but Sheffield United have really gone for the jugular at the start of the second half, and I think we could be in for a very interesting game. I don't think this is one by any means for Arsenal, although they should be out of sight by now.
Yes, and with the second half underway, we'll land over to JB for second half coverage.
Yes, and now thank you, Russ, again. Thank you, RV. And back we are with the second half. And as you saw there, as you heard there, an early flurry for Sheffield United as Leno takes the kick, but he got straight to a Sheffield United player. Kobayas picks it up in the middle of the field. Saka has it now. Still, both sides unchanged. I'll give you a quick recap of the two 11s in just a second. In fact, there's an offside or a free kick given to Arsenal. Foul there on Saka. So as soon as I get a break in play, we will reacquaint you again with the two teams and give you a quick recap. The ball played out towards Martinelli. The referee isn't happy. He doesn't think it was taken from the correct spot from the far side, or maybe it was just a case he wasn't happy that the free kick was taken far too quickly for his liking. He's happy now for Arsenal to get the ball back, and here's Granit Xhaka playing at the left back, as Mike Harneman said at half time. As the ball comes forward, it's a poor ball from Xhaka straight into no man's land. So let me just run through the Sheffield United team. 3-5-2, Ramsdale, Egan, Ampadu, Stevens, Baldock, Fleck, Lundstrom, Oliver Norwood, Osborne, Burke and McGoldrick. As the ball is now played back by Ampadu to Ramsdale on the edge of his own 6-yard area. Again, Sheffield United, like most teams, like to play out from the back, which can have its own perils. And I've covered a few Arsenal games where they've sort of messed that sort of situation up. A la Watford last year. And I've got Matt Isles now following me on Twitter. Thank you, Matt. And I hope you enjoyed me giving you a mention at halftime. And we've got some great commentators in the Football Commentators stable here in this channel. The likes of Matt and the likes of Nicholas Jones as well. Some great young commentators coming through, being given an opportunity to shine
in this channel as well, and it's a great honour for me to do a few games as well, on top of my existing work for my own channel and Trevor Sports as well. Anyway, here's Lundstrom now for Sheffield United, attacking the goal to our right, incidentally, in the second half. We'll reacquaint you with the Arsenal side in just a second, because Sheffield United, I think, have won a free kick, or have they? Goal kick, I think, has been given, to the despair of Ben Osborne, who thinks it should have been a free kick. Just having a look at the replay, see what happened. It was Ceballos involved. Well, 50-50. I've seen them given, but on the other hand, I've seen them not given. So Arsenal will now move to 9th as it stands. On goal, they'll go above Leeds on goal difference. Aston Villa would, as a result, if it stays this way, will drop to 11th, but they're safe with 44 points. They won't have any last day dramas like they did last season, of course, and they survived Villa on goal difference, of course, when they got that 1-1 draw at West Ham, which was enough to send them, keep them up at Watford's expense. Here come Arsenal coming forward, and now Saka has possession. As soon as we get a breaking play, I'll let you know the Arsenal side, or remind you of the 11. Here's Ceballos now on the left-hand touch line. Has to go back to Granit Xhaka, playing, as Mike said, in an unfamiliar left-hand side of defensive role, and a throw it is to Arsenal. And while they're prepping up for that throw level with the Sheffield United area, let me just run through the 11 for Arsenal. Leno in goal, Chambers holding, Mari, Saka, Saka, Partey, Xhaka, Granit Xhaka that is, Nicola Pepe, Ceballos, Martinelli and Lacazette. Ball was pumped in there, but Sheffield United got it away. But only as far as Ceballos, a bit of a mistake in the Blaze defence, who have been blunted the once. Goal in 33 minutes by Alex Lacazette, if you've just joined us late. Meanwhile, here's Oliver Burke running down that far side for Sheffield United into the penalty area, but he tried to take on far too much, and Callum Chambers was able to get back and hoist it out for a throw-in to Sheffield United about 5 yards from the quadrant on the far side. But in line with the penalty box of Arsenal. Still 1-0 to the Arsenal. A famous score from down the years, as Russ eloquently referred to as he was speaking to Mike at the half-time interval. A very good entertaining half-time chat between the two of them. Very good buddies for many years standing. And both contributors from my channel as well. As that was a speculative effort from the right-hand side there, which had Leno scrambling into the back of his own net. It was Oliver Norwood with I think he was meaning to cross it in from the right-hand channel, and he caught it all wrong. And as a result, Leno ended up in the back of the net, and the ball hit the side of the net, hit the side netting. So a goal kick to Arsenal, which again, like Sheffield United, they'll play out from the back. Now then, will they be wise to this Sheffield United? Oh, well, Leno kicked long. He made the mistake at Watford a couple of last season, I think, when they drew 2-2. Watford actually came from 2-0 down. It was a game Arsenal had seemingly won, and then they made two mistakes in defence, which cost them 2 points, which didn't go down too well with the Arsenal hierarchy. But at the moment, they're in control. But apart from that flurry from Sheffield United at the start of the second half, it's been mostly Arsenal that have done all the attacking. They're just looking at a replay of the goal again. Partey, Lacazette, Saka, lovely play by Danny Ceballos, and a super goal. That was a beautiful goal. One-touch passing at its finest and its very, very best. And, well, you can't get much better than that. Ball back now with Aaron Ramsdale. And here's Granit Xhaka. Cup semi-finals, of course, next week in real life, both at Wembley. We've got a big one between Chelsea and Manchester City, of course. And, of course, Leicester are involved as well against Southampton in the second semi-final. That takes place a week today, incidentally. When I think it's a 6:30 kickoff, I think, at Wembley. I think I might be wrong, but I think it is 6:30. It's certainly a late kickoff anyway, and amongst that 6 o'clock region anyway. And you'll be able to hopefully hear those games with us on Football Commentary. There'll be a few European matches as well coming in midweek on this station. you're not just hearing us on Facebook tonight. You're also hearing it on Russ's RV's YouTube channel called Russ Vernon, of course. RV refers to his forename and his surname. And of course, we're live also on Twitch, on the Football Commentary Live Twitch channel and the Football Commentary Live Periscope channel. So we're live on about 4 or 5 different social media platforms. So plenty of social media platforms to choose from. And of course, don't forget, follow us, follow the guys at Twitter at Commentary Live 1. I didn't say 1 when I read out the Twitter handle in the first half, so I've corrected that. It's at Football Commentary Live 1. So it's important you put the 1 on at the end if you want to look for them on Twitter. Live here on Football Commentary Live, the home of alternative football, or one of the homes of alternative football, along with another channel I do commentary for. Not to I can't criticise my own product either, but I'm making a different appearance on a different channel. I am freelance, so I'm always open to offers for commentary here on this channel and, of course, on JB Sports and Trevor Sports. So my work now is far and wide from my own YouTube channel, and it's great to see. Anyway, Ceballos now in possession for Arsenal. We're here for Football Commentary Live tonight, and it's a good game as well. Here's a chance for Saka, who's been very lively in this game. Lacazette was in on the edge of the area. Lacazette shoots, and it's just an inch or two over the angle of post and bar on the far end post and bar. Pepe laying the ball in. Love a little cut back. Lacazette wanted it, and he felt confident enough. In fact, it went wide of the target. And from the first angle, it looked as if it had just missed the angle of post and bar. But when you see it from the angle from behind the goal, or from behind the other end, you can see it was about an inch or two wide off the target. We've had 56 minutes of the second half of the game, 11 minutes of the second half. It's still 1-0 to Arsenal. That goal after 33 minutes from Lacazette, the difference. Goal kick to Sheffield United, who, after a good opening minute or so at the start of the second half, really haven't offered too much. Mikel Arteta, in the main, will be pleased, but I think from if you're going to be hypercritical, they should be 2 or 3 up and out of sight, really, Arsenal. Remember, there was a famous game here at Bramall Lane in 2000, I think it was 2007, when Arsenal lost 1-0, and Phil Jagielka, who is in fact one of the substitutes tonight, went in goal because they didn't have a substitute goalkeeper, and Sheffield United won 1-0, and Jagielka kept a clean sheet. I think he played in goal for something like the best part of an hour or something like that, and they won the game 1-0. But it ultimately didn't matter too much because Sheffield United got relegated that season, and they're going to get relegated this season, but they're going to have a good go here. McGoldrick tries the shot, deflects away. It might break for Norwood on the edge of the box, but Arsenal get tackles in there, and again here comes the lively Saka, and he's over halfway, and he's run towards the area, and he's still going Saka, but he's fouled a Sheffield United player, and he kicks the ball into the standing disgust. Now, surely the referee should be going over there and booking him under the rules of the game, but I don't think he's going to keep his cards in his pocket. I don't think we've even had a booking yet in this game, so it tells me in uncertain terms it's been far from a dirty game tonight, which is always good to see, because when you see dirty games of football, it's always a little bit unsettling for a commentator. You want a fast, free-flowing type of game. I've had many of those on when covering games on YouTube or Twitch or wherever this season, where we've had the games free-flowing, and we've been very lucky. I think I've only had 2 0-0s to cover this season, out of sort of 50 games that I've covered across 2 YouTube channels. This one, my own JB Sports, and this one here, we're on at the moment, Football Commentary Live. I think you should be recruiting me, because I guarantee you goals every time I pick up a microphone. And hopefully I'll come back with some more commentaries here with this fantastic outfit, brilliantly put together by Barry Swain and ran superbly by Mark Arneman and Russ Vernon, of course, both terrific supporters of the both terrific for their work they put in. Of course, both of them have appeared on my channel before in the corresponding fixture. Incidentally, last season they were both commentator and co-commentator. Sheffield United won that game by a goal to 0 as the goalkeeper comes charging out there, Leno. But at the moment, it's the opposite way round. Free kick to Sheffield United, taken quickly. Right, offside decision, I think it was. And of course, I hope they get rid of that disgusting offside law where you have to continue playing and then put that offside flag up, which I think if the ball is played over the top, put the flag up straight away, and then it then makes it easier for commentators and players alike. Then you know you're offside, because there's nothing more frustrating than letting play carry on for 4 seconds. You put the ball in the back of the net, and there we go. Of course, everybody that
We've currently lost JB for a second as Arsenal pick up possession with Pablo Mari across to Granit Xhaka in this left back spot, and we've now gone back JB, so we'll just fetch him back in.
Thank you very much indeed, Russ. And Arsenal, I picked the commentary up again. For some reason, I logged myself out of where I was supposed to be. I don't know why I was doing it. I was having a look at the chat whilst we had a break in play, and now, but we are back live with you now. I'm going to have to get used to all this new technology. I think once I've had 2 or 3 games doing this platform, it'll be like meat and drink to me. But this is the first time I've done it, so be patient with me, folks. And here's Jack and Asper, a lovely ball out towards the far side. 1-0 to Arsenal. Go on 33 minutes by Alex Lacazette. Here's Saka inside the penalty area, just to the left-hand side. Chambers keeps possession, finds Nicola Pepe. Pepe takes on no substitutions yet by either side being used. And I'll go through the substitutions for you. Anything up to 8 substitutes, and 3 can be used at any one time. Saka and Pepe try to hoist the ball or pierce the Sheffield United defence once again. We're past the hour mark here. And of course, unlike what I do on JB Sports, where I ask the listeners to choose the man of the match, the commentators, as a rule here on this particular station, have to choose the man of the match. So I've got a very unenviable task coming my way in around about half an hour's time, when I've got to be pushed to choose a man of the match, of course. And once we get any comments flying in, Russ will come in and talk to you about the comments, of course. Just remind you, earlier today, Burnley 1, Newcastle 2, West Ham 3, Leicester 2, and Tottenham 0, Tottenham 1, rather, Manchester United 2. Here come Arsenal now looking for this killer second goal. Ball played in, little deflection on the ball as Lacazette hits it a little bit wayward there from the near side. Play on, says the referee. Sheffield United in possession, midway inside their own half. And now the ball is with Ben Osborne. And Osborne has to check because he's not got much in the way of support, so he's having to hold up the ball. Just the one moment that Jared Gillette, the VAR official, originally from Australia, now certainly plies his trade here in England, and apart from he judged that accidental handball at the end of the first half to be accidental, and I think it was the right call. I think it was ball to hand. He did have his hands down by his side, and they weren't in what you would call a natural position. Sheffield United going forward yet. No substitutions made. As soon as we get a break in play, I'll run through the 2 benches for you very quickly. There's an Arsenal player tumbling just outside the centre circle, and it's Martinelli who's in some discomfort. It appears to be down on the near side. Referee Peter Banks has got to stop this, surely. And whilst he's receiving treatment, let me just run through the benches for you very quickly. So the Sheffield United bench, starting with West Birmingham, the former Rangers and Swindon goalkeeper, Jayden Bogo, Mousse, Lowe, Phil Jagielka, who's in his second spell at the club, Ryan Brewster, Brian and Indai. Bellerin, Gabriel, Williams, Cedric, Nelson, Elneny, Nketiah, Matt Ryan and Aziz are the Arsenal substitutions. And as I talk to you now, Ryan Brewster is on as well, and McGoldrick and Burke have been withdrawn. It's a double substitution. Only McBurney and Ryan Brewster are both on. So Brewster essentially will play midfield. McBurney will take over from McGoldrick up front. So a double change for Paul Heckingbottom as he takes this opportunity with the injury to Martinelli to make a double substitution. Now, it worked for Newcastle earlier on against Burnley. Now, Sheffield United and obviously are too far back in the point stakes to get out of the trouble. And purely accidental between Ampadu and Martinelli on halfway. So there was no blame attached to the Sheffield United player. But it's a real battle now for Arsenal in the second half. But Sheffield United have given it a good go. As the Arsenal physio there. It's not Gary Lewin these days. He was a great physio of his day, Gary Lewin. So a real opportunity for the likes of Ryan Brewster and Owen McBurney, the Scottish international, to see what he can produce here. We're almost at the midway point of the second half, folks. And so a great opportunity for the players just to calm down. It's been high-tempoed, highly paced, but only, unfortunately, the one goal so far. And it's gone to Arsenal in the 33rd minute. It's a super goal scored by Lacazette after a 9 or 10 pass move involving 3 or 4 Arsenal players. It was a superb team goal, shall we say, from Arsenal. The pass and move was absolutely superb. And when Arsenal are on song like that, there's no better team to watch from a neutral's point of view than Arsenal. It's just a shame they just can't do it on a consistent basis. And that is also the frustration for many Arsenal fans. They want to see their team challenging for Champions League. Of course, there's always going to be the issues with Stan Kroenke at ballroom level, of course. Do they have enough money in reserve to go out and get the big names? Of course, they have no Odegaard. They have no Aubameyang here tonight. Of course, it's been an unbelievable season in terms of crazy results, as Mike was saying early doors, towards the end of the first interval. But Sheffield United now, nothing to lose and everything to gain. They know they're as good as down, but they're going to have a good go now in this next 24 minutes or so, plus stoppage time that remains. And they won't go down without a fight, I can tell you. We've got another injury down there on the ground there, and we're at the 67th mark. So we're halfway through the second half, folks. And I think it's Thomas Partey who's gone down there. I'm not certain. There was an injury picked up. Well, it might be Saka, actually. Saka, I think, who's gone down. He hasn't been fouled or anything. I think he's maybe it's a hammy that's gone there, a hamstring. There, we're going to see Willian, the former Chelsea player, who's been a bit under fire recently, actually, from a lot of Arsenal fans. Certainly on their well-known Arsenal fan TV, AFTV, as they like to call themselves these days. But now a real opportunity now for Willian, who really was very successful in his Chelsea days. Hasn't really been as successful at Arsenal as he would have hoped to have been. And Saka, who's actually been would have to be up there for a candidate for a man of the match. He's walking off gingerly. I think it is going to be the end of his match. I think 68 minutes gone. Sheffield United 0, Arsenal 1, and Saka gingerly is walking off the field. The physio's there with him as well. Magic sponge and spray. Not been a game of non-stop controversy, which has actually been good, refreshing to see tonight. I've really enjoyed doing this game because just the fact that we haven't had too much controversial moments to bring you this evening. I think that's how he did it. I think it was a challenge from Ryan Brewster that may have actually seen the last of him, unfortunately. But let's hope it's not too bad from Arsenal fans' perspective. He's a good prospect, this Saka. I think he's going to be a real star of the future, and I've been impressed by what I've seen of him tonight. And it's really sad that an injury has really forced his substitution. But Willian is a good enough replacement, or on paper at least. He hasn't, as I say, consistently done it enough with Arsenal since he's been at the club. So he's got a chance to really make his mark now for Mikel Arteta and prove to him that he's worth the money that Arsenal pay a week. I think it's in the region of something like 250 grand or something like that. I might be wrong, but that's what's been reported his wages are taking. He's got to justify that now in the next 20 minutes or so. Still 1-0 if you've just joined us. Go on from Lacazette after 33 is the difference. Sheffield United pumped the ball forward up towards Ollie McBurney. He can't be found, the former Swansea striker. Now Willian gets his first touch, lays it on there to the defender there. And just to remind you that Arsenal have used two of their substitutes, now one substitute, and Sheffield United have used the two. Another foul committed, I think, or is it a throw-in? No, it's a free kick. So Arsenal get the decision anyway, regardless of whether it's a free kick or a throw. Paul Heckingbottom there. Oh, he's got an unenviable task. Caretaker manager. Always a difficult stuff there. And there's the ice pack being placed on Saka's left hamstring. That's always a sad sight to see when a player he really has done well, and he has to be a contender for the Man of the Match award, which I've now got to get my thinking cap on as well as commentate here. Here's a chance now. Pepe's inside the area. Nicola Pepe shoots. Oh, and Martinelli scores. Martinelli has made it 2-0. The goalkeeper couldn't hold on to Pepe's shot, and Arsenal go 2 goals clear. And Martinelli, who came close in the first half, well, he had 2 efforts that one went into the side netting. They'll obviously check it for VAR, but I'm certain that the goal will stand, and it's 2-0 to Arsenal. And again, Sheffield United getting themselves in knots at the back. Pepe going forward, and yes, he's onside. No doubt about that. Martinelli with the simplest goal he'll have all season, and Arsenal now have that clear daylight, which their dominance and play, you have to say, has fully merited, because they have been very much the dominant force, bar a 2-minute spell at the start of the second half of Sheffield United, where they really laid siege to the goal. But any opportunity for Sheffield United trying to get a point out of this game looks to have been banished by that second goal from Martinelli. Goalkeeper really should be holding that for me. It wasn't the best, wasn't the most fiercely hit shot you'll see from Nicola Pepe, but I think the goalkeeper should do him better for me. And he's presented that opportunity for Martinelli on a plate. So 72 minutes gone. And that has to, I'm afraid, got to go down as a goalkeeping error from Aaron Ramsdale. So Lacazette and Martinelli, the goal scorers. Sheffield United 0, Arsenal 2. And it looks as if Arsenal will be moving up into the top 10 to 9th position above Leeds and Aston Villa, who will take Arsenal's spot in 11th place. But mercifully, they've got 44 points and are practically safe now for another season of Premier League football. So to Leeds with that brilliant result at Manchester City, a terrific season for them. Pepe's in the wars deep inside Sheffield United territory, deep inside his own half, I should say. And let's have a look what happened there. It was an incident involving John Fleck. Again, no yellow card. Referee Banks very reluctant to release the cards. And when we get a next breaking play, we'll try and check on what's been going on in the social media stakes with Russ in a few moments' time, as Lundstrom now prepares to defend this free kick for Arsenal. As soon as the ball goes out of play, we'll go back to Russ with the social media viewpoints and see what's been going on, because the ball played in there and Lacazette was lurking. And I think it was Egan who got back there and did some very good covering there. And Pablo Mari now to Rob Holding. The ball played forward, and Ceballos now takes it on the left-hand channel. Ceballos infield to Lacazette, back to Ceballos once more. Arsenal now quite happy now just to pass the ball around at will. They know they've got that 2-goal cushion, and time is not Sheffield United's friend at the moment. Here's William, who's just come on as a substitute. And he needs to still have a big second half, a big last few moments. Not one of Arteta's favourites at the moment, despite earning what was a £750,000 a week, which is a criminal sort of wage for a footballer. When you think of a nurse on the NHS earns like £9 an hour. It just doesn't seem right, does it? Anyway, here's Pepe now running forward. And here's Lacazette, well, near side. And he cuts inside. That's surely got to be a penalty kick. Surely. Against Ampadu. Is it? I think it might be a free kick, actually. Well, they're going to check it, I think, on VAR. But it's, was it in or out? That's the $64,000 question. As we look at the replay, Lacazette playing a lovely one too with Ceballos. They've done it all night long. And just an inch, maybe up a little bit more outside the area. I thought for a moment he was going to blow for a penalty. Very close, I have to tell you. Number 2 there. He's just outside the box. I just fancy there. Another inch, and that's a penalty. Quarter of an hour to go. Arsenal have a free kick on the left-hand side. Partey and William, the 2-man committee. We will go as soon as we get a break in play. As soon as the ball goes dead into touch, we'll try and get the social media view of things with Russ Burden in just a second as we come towards the final quarter of an hour here at Bramall Lane. And as Arsenal now look to try and settle this now. Williams free kick. It's the 2-man wall. Breaks back to Pablo Mari, who finds Thomas Partey down that near side. That's going to run into touch. Let's cross over to Russ for the social media side of things.
Thank you very much, JB. Mike mentioned a few moments ago, he said Willian is one of the top earners of the club. I think he's 3rd or 4th top earner at Arsenal, says. And that's another headache for Thursday if Saka is out. Another player who could play left back, possibly in the place of Kieran Tierney. And he also says that is why they've been crying out for Martinelli. That's what he's capable of. And he said the last challenge looked in the area for him. Just been looking for Peter Banks, as you mentioned, JB. No yellow cards yet in this game. The last Premiership ref game which he gave no yellow cards was a Chelsea 2-0 win over Newcastle, which Neil Davis and James Manowarin were his assistants on that occasion, like they are today.
Thank you, Ross. That's an interesting stat there. The last time he actually didn't show your card, Neil Davis and James Manowarin. Yeah, don't tell him, Pike. I can't resist the Dead Army joke. Anyway, 2-0 to Arsenal. If you've just joined us, that was Russ there with the social media side of things. And when I'm done here, Russ will take you through the final portion of the programme alongside Mike Arneman, who's our special pundit this evening. The two linking up now towards the end. Once my work's done, it's their turn then to shine for the last 5 or 10 minutes of the programme. As Sheffield United try a shot for Ryan Brewster, it was charged away. Now Danny Ceballos has it on in the inside. He has to go back to Granit Xhaka. But interesting that it's a bit of a headache, as Mike was saying, with Saka, with Thursday in mind against Slavia Prague. And we know what Slavia Prague, I've covered them before against Leicester City. Of course, they beat Rangers as well. So it's going to be a touch and go for that one on Thursday night over in Prague. Manchester United actually, the other English representation in the Europa League, take a 2-goal lead back to Old Trafford against Granada. No, not Granada Television. Granada, which is a city in Spain, not Granada Television. Although there was a nice little banner actually at Granada train station. Granada reports with losing Meacock. I read that on a social media platform the other day, and it was quite a funny thing to see. Anyway, back with this game here, which is a Premier League offering, and here is a chance now for Baldock to come forward. Here's Baldock now, the number 2 for Sheffield United. Can they force a goal back and make it a nervy sort of finish for the Arsenal boys? Here's Lundstrom. really took the world by storm last season in a Sheffield United shirt. Not so this season. The last 11 minutes plus stoppage time still to play. Fleck trying to get something going for Sheffield United. McBurney's there, but he's taking a deeper role. It looks to me, Oliver McBurney. Here's Ampadu, the man on loan from Chelsea. Played in there once more. Little chip forward by Osborne, and a chance now for Sheffield United. And then Arsenal almost get themselves in a bit of a mix there. Mix up there, but Callum Chambers and William. And the first yellow card, as soon as we talk about Peter Banks not showing a yellow card, he's actually right on cue, shown one. I don't know who he's waving about in no particular direction. I think it's probably Marie who's been booked. Not quite sure what for. That's why. Oliver McBurney. Oliver McBurney's gone down now. Hopefully we'll get an action replay of what happened, and we'll be able to describe what happened. But the first yellow card goes to the centre-back, Pablo Mari of Arsenal. So there we go. I think we're just about talking about not issuing yellow cards, and right on cue after the social media segment of the second half. This happens. So this was the opportunity again. We're getting themselves into a bit of a mix, but there was a linesman's flag up for offside, which I think is a bit stupid. If he's offside at the time, flag him offside. Don't wait for the play to develop. I think that's a really ridiculous rule, and I hope the people in charge of the rules amend that rule next season and make it a bit more simplified. It just doesn't need to happen. It's frustrating for the players. It's frustrating for commentators. It's frustrating for managers above all else. And as soon as we get rid of that ridiculous offside rule and just get a normal offside, if you're offside, stop the play immediately. But Bernie just off the field temporarily just to see if he can run off that injury. So Sheffield United are down temporarily to 10 men, but McBurney's been given permission by Peter Banks to come on. We're going to see some substitutions in the second half. See activity on the Arsenal bench at the moment. But at the moment, with 8 minutes to go, 7 minutes to go, or well, in fact 9 minutes to go, sorry. We've played 81 minutes. It's still 2-0 to Arsenal. Can he make it 3 now? Pepe played a lovely ball in. Martinelli can't get on the end of it. And it would have been a lovely moment for him if he could get that second one as well. He's played really well tonight, Martinelli. I can see why Arsenal fans really rave about him a lot. Here's a lovely ball in there from Pepe. And he was just stretching Martinelli as he tried to get his foot round the ball there. A bit unfortunate, actually. Anyway, here's a chance for Sheffield United. Can they make it a little bit more of a finish? They'll certainly try and go down fast. Osborne wins a throw, but not a corner. Holding doing really well. He's had a good game tonight. I think Arsenal have done really well in the main as regards a good, solid team performance without being too spectacular, but I've got themselves a cushion they totally, utterly deserve. And I don't think Oliver McBurney will be able to run that injury he's got off. And that's a real blow for him. And we're going to see Mousse now, another striker. They signed from Bournemouth for quite a number of money, quite a number of £1 million. They paid something in the region of £20 million to Bournemouth. And it's not exactly really been money well spent from Chris Wilder. So McBurney's little cameo is over. And Mousse comes on. This is the second goal again. It was given away by Lundstrom, which led to Pepe having the shot. And it was from the right-hand side. It was half parried, really, by Aaron Ramsdale and Martinelli, who, again, could well be a shoo-in for a man in a match. When I've got to make that decision in something like 7 minutes from now. As pronounced there, he's had 2 previous opportunities, but what I've been impressed with Martinelli is his work rate, the way he's gone up and down that left-hand flank. He's really done a good stint tonight and deserves a good round of applause. Meanwhile, the ball's being reloaded in. Mousse was in there with an opportunity, but Arsenal again, good defence. And it's a bit weird not asking you guys to choose the man of the match. Usually when I do the commentaries from my own channel at JB Sports, we always ask you guys for the input, but it's very different on this platform. Don't forget, if you're listening in any of these platforms, YouTube on Russ's channel, Twitch on the official channel there, official Twitch channel, Periscope, and of course the Football Commentary Live Facebook page. So we're live on 4 social media platforms: Facebook, YouTube, Periscope, and Twitch. And at the moment, you're listening to Sheffield United Arsenal winning by 2-0, goals either side of half time. And don't forget the Twitter handle for the channel. It's let me go through that. It's at the Twitter handle is at Commentary Live 1. Commentary Live 1 is the Twitter handle there. You can get up to date with who's commentating, what matches we're going to be covered. Mike and Russ do a fantastic job maintaining that Twitter feed as well. And we've got a tremendous team of commentators here at our disposal here on Football Commentary Live, started up by the brilliant Barry Swain of Football Commentary Workshop fame. And of course, here's a chance now for Lacazette. Can he make it 3? He can, brilliantly. Alex Lacazette gets his second. Arsenal get their third. And 3 points are going back to North London here tonight. It's been a dominant performance by Arsenal. One ball split the defence to smithereens. And when Alex Lacazette gets one-on-one with a goalkeeper, you have to fear for the goalkeeper. And the captain has shown a real example to all schoolboys watching. No doubt at all he was onside. And an easy finish in the end. Good turn by Thomas Partey. Lovely defence, splitting pass, and with the right foot did the rest into the left corner. And with just under 4.5 minutes to go, that's surely now going to be game, set, and match for Arsenal. Alex Lacazette making it 3-0. That's a double for Lacazette. That'll do his confidence a lot of good. Being entrusted with the captaincy, and my word, as he took that opportunity so well. And I'm sure if Slavia Prague are watching, they will be in fear of this fella. I know it's against Sheffield United, but, well, you have to beat the opposition in front of you, and that's what they've done tonight, Arsenal, and they've done it, and it's been a very professional performance from Arsenal. Now, can Sheffield United pull one back? Now, the next objective, the final objective would be, if I was Mikel Arteta now, don't give anything away now, even a consolation goal. But Sheffield United won't give up. That is for sure. So 3-0. The score then here in this game at Bramall Lane. The final Premier League game of the day. Earlier today, Burnley 1, Newcastle 2. That kills me to say it. West Ham going well. 3-2 winners over Leicester. And now they're in the top 4 and a real chance for Champions League football at the London Stadium next year. What a turn up for the Bucks that could be. And earlier, and also in the third match of 4, Tottenham Hotspur 1, Manchester United 2. You heard those games previously. You certainly heard the Leicester game, and you certainly heard Manchester United and Tottenham here on Football Commentary Live. And what a job the previous commentators did on that broadcast as well. Well done to you all. You've done a fantastic job. Here she comes to Sheffield United. Big chance for Mousset, who shoots wide. And that just sums up Sheffield United's evening in a nutshell. The substitute, Mousset, would have been no more than a consolation goal, admittedly here, but even so, from 12 yards, you would expect to hit the target from there. And Mousset just miscued it, to be perfectly honest with you. And that's what happens when you're down the bottom. Nothing seems to go your way. Lacazette coming off. He's another one, really, that could be in line for man of the match. So I've got a little tricky choice. It's going to be between 3 Arsenal players. Saka being one, Martinelli being another. And you can't discount Alex Lacazette with his brace and his captaincy of the team. It's been a great performance, really, from Lacazette from an individual's point of view. But he's captained the side well with authority and coolness and calmness. And I think he's taken to the responsibility like water off a duck's back, to be quite honest with you. So in a few seconds from now, I'll choose the man of the match. And I think it's between those 3, to be honest with you. And as soon as we get, in fact, I'll In fact, I'm going to choose the man of the match now, and I'm going to go for Alexander Lacazette, just for his all-round work rate. Honourable mentions, of course, to Saka, and of course to Martinelli, who deserved a goal tonight. But I think for the way he's captained the side and captained them so well, he's got confidence as well. His confidence has really come storming back tonight. 2 fantastically, brilliantly taken goals. And so Alexander Lacazette is my choice for man of the match tonight. And I don't think too many people would argue with that choice. Here's Thomas Partey now coming forward. Nketiah is now on as a substitute. And here's a chance for 4-0. Pepe trying to play the ball back. He should have really shot himself there, Nicola Pepe. I think he had a better opportunity to shoot and pass back to Nketiah, or cut the ball back to Nketiah rather. But at the moment, no such problems here for our Arsenal now. 30 seconds of the normal time to go, and I think Russ will concur when we hand back to him at the end of the game that I think we've got a worthy man of the match tonight. And the worthy winners, Arsenal, they will move up into ninth place as they knock it back to goalkeeper Bernd Leno, who, but in the main, hasn't had too much to do. But whenever he's being called upon, he's done it very, very well. We've got 4 added minutes, and that'll be agony for every Sheffield United fan in the world. Don't forget, you're listening to this game on 4 different social media platforms, on Russ Burnham's own YouTube channel, on Facebook, on Football Commentary's Facebook page. That's live on there. You're also live on Twitter. You're also live, on Twitch, not Twitter. And you're also live on Periscope as well, amongst others. The Twitter handle for if you want to follow the channel, follow us all at Football Commentary, Football Live, Commentary Live. At Commentary Live 1, Commentary Live 1. I'll get the Twitter handle thing in a bit as Ramsdale kicks away. We've had almost the first of the 4 minutes here at Bramall Lane, and Sheffield United look a well-beaten side now. They gave it their best shot, but the way Arsenal performed tonight, they will be giving Slavia Prague 1 or 2 headaches of their own. I know Mike mentioned on social media while Russ was reading through all the comments that Saka could be a possible doubt, which could be a worry for Arsenal going forward. But they should enjoy tonight, the Arsenal fans. It's a good performance, a great team display. And I have to say, as a neutral, I've actually enjoyed watching them play tonight. They've been a treat to watch, and it's been a treat to watch them in action tonight. It's been an entertaining match, shall we say, and I think a lot of people would not disagree with Lacazette getting our man of the match award. I think he's been masterful. Free kick there for a foul there on Mousset, as we now go halfway through the time added on, for which we've had 2 of the 4 minutes, as we now come up to the closing stages of the match. And Sheffield United 0, Arsenal 3 is the score, if you've just joined us here at Bramall Lane. A good performance, good team performance, and I don't think anyone could argue with the result here tonight. It's been a very good team performance from Arsenal, as we now go into the final 90 seconds of stoppage time here at Bramall Lane. It's been a chasing night again for Paul Heckingbottom. Sheffield United now sliding down that trapdoor to relegation. They'll stay on 14 points. And really, after such a gloriously brilliant season last year, it's been such a chasing season for them this year. I think they've won something about 3, maybe 4 or 5 times in all competitions this season. It's been a real chasing experience for all connected, but they'll come back stronger in the Championship next year, and I've no doubts at all they'll be one of the contenders for promotion. As we look at the attempts, 7 for Sheffield United. They had 2 on target. Arsenal have had a whopping 14 and have 5 of them on target and 3 goals. 2 for Lacazette, 1 for Martinelli. And we're now into the final 40 seconds of the game, which is now a formality. And it's game, set, a match. And Nketiah is tripped, and a free kick to Arsenal just inside the centre circle. And Ampadu should be spoken to by the referee, and is. and he picks up the second yellow card of the match. And along with Pablo Mari, who was earlier booked, there's Eddie Nketiah. Another young, promising prospect for Arsenal. And but a good night for Mikel Arteta. He'll be worried a little bit about of course, about Saka, of course, but putting that aside, I think it's been a very domineering Arsenal performance as the final whistle is blown by referee Peter Banks. 2 goals from Lacazette, 1 from Martinelli, who deserved a goal on the night. Fist pumps and handshakes all around then, and I don't think anyone can complain about the final outcome as Mikel Arteta makes his way down the tunnel at Bramall Lane. Like I said, had a good night. Martinelli had a good night. I think Arsenal as a team all round had one of the better nights. And I know they're against bottom of the table, Sheffield United, but they certainly dominated from start to finish. Sheffield United did come strong at the start of the second half where they had a flurry of opportunities, but they just didn't have the finishing prowess. And Lacazette looked superb. I think he led the side very well. There will be concerns about Saka, of course, but there we go. So let me just run through the scores from today. Burnley 1, Newcastle 2. Painful for me to say that. West Ham 3, Leicester 2. West Ham doing really well up to 4th place, up into the top 4 now. And who knows, European football, Champions League football for them next season. Tottenham 1, Manchester United 3, not 2, as I thought it was. So it was 3-1 to Manchester United. Bad result for Jose Mourinho. And as you've just heard, Sheffield United 0, Arsenal 3, the final score. So that's it from me for tonight. Let me just give you the updated table. Burnley, in fact, stay 15th. We're still 7 points clear. Aston Villa now move into the bottom half of the table, but they've got enough points sufficiently now to stay in the Premier League. They have 44 Wolves behind them now. West Ham up into 4th. Arsenal now above Leeds on goal difference, just a plus 8 above Russ's side. Spurs are bowing 7th. That's a poor one. Back to Arsenal now. It's just 2 points behind Tottenham. And they still have a chance to champion Europa League football next season. So there's everything to play for Arsenal as well, both here in the league and European as well. United up to 2nd, Leicester 3rd. West Ham now up to 4th. That's a great guns for them. Right, that's it from me for tonight. Thank you very much to everybody that's commented on my commentary. I hope to be back on the channel sometime. But here, the story here at Bramall Lane, a very good dominant performance from Arsenal, and 3-0 they've beaten Sheffield United tonight. And for the final part of the programme, let's cross to Mike Arneman and to Harvey. Russ Burnham. Russ, it's all yours.
Thank you very much, JB, and a fantastic commentary, as always, as you produce every single week on our channel, and fantastic commentary here for a fantastic debut as well. Fantastic performance from Arsenal, fantastic goals as well as Arsenal, as you say, move up above Leeds into the top half of the table. Sheffield United remain bottom of the table. 4 wins all season for the Blades, and it's been a very poor showing at times from Sheffield United this evening. We're now delighted to be joined by our resident Arsenal fan, Mike Arneman. And Mike, just a quick word on this for you. What do you think to the performance today from Arsenal? And fantastic goals from Alex Lacazette tonight as well, and some good goals from the entire team from Arsenal today. Lacazette and Martinelli, but 2 assists, one for Ceballos and one for Partey as well. What do you make to the team's performance today, Mike?
I thought we played very, very well. I thought we were the dominant side, and as the results shown, props go to Alex Lacazette, rightful man of the match. I know Gabby Martinelli and Bukayo Saka were certainly within a shout, but on the day that Alex Lacazette gets his 50th goal for the club, it's only appropriate and apt that he gets given man of the match as well. So good performance from him today. That's 124 games for the Frenchman. And 50 goals for Arsenal now, 23 assists in that time as well. And in fact, Arsenal have 4 from 6, in fact, of the players that have scored 50 goals for a single club, with Thierry Henry, Olivier Giroud and Robert Perez also in that bracket as well for when they played at the club. And alongside them were 2 Manchester United players, and well, one's current, one's former, and it's Eric Cantona and Anthony Martial. So good company for Alex Lacazette to be, and then a good performance to do himself no harm today. And of course, Arsenal winning yet again without Aubameyang and Lacazette, showing Mikel Arteta, this is my front line, and it's my position to lose. And he done very well leading the line as captain as well today in place of the Gabon international. And yeah, that's the second time in recent weeks that without Aubameyang, Arsenal have gone on and won in some style.
Yes, it is, Mike, as you quite rightly point out there. And Mike, I'm just been looking at the form for the last 5 matches for Arsenal, and it's a draw, win, draw, defeat, win. Looking at that form going into the final 7 matches or so now for Arsenal that they've got in the league. Where do you see them finishing in the table if you had to put your neck out there and give a place in the table? Where would you say Arsenal are going to finish this season?
So it depends on the form. If we can carry on this form, it depends on the result in the Europa League as well. If we get through against Prague, then it's going to take some confidence through there. Of course, today's game will give us that bit of confidence to get through. And well, I say get through. Hopefully, get through. Fingers crossed against Prague away. You can't rule them out at all, but hopefully this will kind of come into our favour a little bit now, and we know that we can sort of go out to Prague and get a result. But yeah, it's an interesting one. Of course, there's plenty of games left to play, as you've rightfully just mentioned as well. Arsenal's hardest are probably Everton and Chelsea in league action, and of course, as I mentioned before, anything can happen through this season. It's been very strange, and results have been up into the air. JB mentioned it earlier on the commentary about Burnley beating Arsenal. No disrespect to Burnley, but that's a side that Arsenal really should have been beating. And fair play to obviously Burnley for getting the result that day. But that just shows that this season is totally up in the air, and results, and certainly no foregone conclusions throughout whoever's facing who.
Absolutely spot on there, Mike, because as you mentioned there, Burnley beat Arsenal, plus yesterday Leeds United beating Manchester City. Who would have thought that, especially with the attempts and possession that Manchester City had compared to Leeds and all the stats in that game. But Leeds down to 10 men for the biggest part of that match and showed great determination, and they never gave up, which is what Leeds fans like to see. And Mike, Arsenal today, they could have, when Sheffield United had them chances early on in the second half, could have folded, could possibly have let that go in, but they stood firm, defended well, and I think overall the backline today, as you mentioned, Mike, in the comments, Leno never, which I'll just go up here as well. You mentioned you don't think Leno made a save. I can't recall Leno having to make a save, maybe just one little save with his foot towards the end, maybe. But apart from that, a fairly comfortable evening for Leno, and he could have just got a deck chair out and just sat there with a perfect good evening performance from the Arsenal backline. You would have to agree with that, wouldn't you, Mike?
Yeah, absolutely. And of course, it's a very makeshift Arsenal backline as well. Of course, Rob Holding and Pablo Marie both in today alongside each other. They don't really play too much alongside each other in a defensive partnership. They were solid today. I don't think they had an awful lot to do, and everything they did have to do, they dealt with pretty easily, really. And then, of course, the two fullbacks. Well, I say fullbacks. Granit Xhaka wasn't getting forward at all. He was more just sort of a sitting left back, really, and he did everything he needed to do, really, there. And maybe you would have thought that Sheffield United might have targeted him a bit more down that side, but he used his experience well. Of course, former Arsenal captain who was, many fans sort of, well, not just this season, but even last season, many fans were calling for his head. And, it shows that he can use his experience wisely today. No rash decisions, no stupid mistakes. Did everything he needed to do. And it was an easy enough evening for him. Same as Callum Chambers at right back as well. Didn't pull up any trees, but didn't do anything wrong. So that's exactly what you want from the back line.
Yes, and Mike, I'm just wondering, when you mentioned there about Granit Xhaka, he didn't get forward and didn't make any silly mistakes today. Do you reckon that could be down to the partnership he had? He probably worked on this during the week, knew what the back line were going to be, and he probably worked on his partnership, and that's probably why he knew if Mara dropped got brought out of defence, he had to cut inside and vice versa, Mike. Would you say that's possibly the case?
Yeah, possibly, but then you don't really know because, of course, with Kieran Tierney's injury just a couple of weeks ago, of course, Cedric played on Thursday, so there's a little bit of rotation in there, hence the 5 changes. But Granit Xhaka, as I mentioned, very experienced player, and former Arsenal captain as well. Did a very good, had a very good game today. I thought that for somebody playing out of position, it's certainly. You couldn't have been able to tell if he was a natural left back or not really today because he was troubled that infrequently.
I would have to agree there with you, Mike, as well. So, fantastic performance from Arsenal today. And you put them, Martin would have been unmatchable. You had to come out and said the one who that JB chose and Alexander Lacazette, the captain, was deserving of his man of the match as well. There's could have been a number of them, to be fair with you, Mike.
Yeah, he led the line really well today, did Alex Lacazette. Hold the ball up well when he needed to, got himself a brace and had other opportunities to maybe get that hat-trick as well. But yeah, I'm sure that's going to give him some confidence to go forward into the next game against Prague on Thursday, where, it's another important game, even more important than this game, really, to decide Arsenal's future in terms of what competition they're going to be in for next season. Champions League through the league has been long gone for a number of weeks, possibly even months, to be honest now. And it's all or nothing really on Thursday. And of course, potentially, if we get through that, we're coming up against Unai Emery and his Villarreal side. So it's a good opportunity there to maybe get one over on the former manager if we're able to get through Thursday night. And then, you never know what's going to happen from there, because if you get through to a final, then these one-off games, Arsenal have shown certainly under Mikel Arteta that they're capable of beating anybody, as was shown in the FA Cup run last year.
Yes, that is absolutely spot on. Then I'm going to leave it there now, Mike. Thank you for joining me today. Fantastic commentary, I must say, from JB as well today. You have to agree with that, though, wouldn't you, Mike?
Yeah, it's been a great commentary from JB. It's been a great day of it, really, all the way from about 2:00 this afternoon through to now. So a solid 9 hours or so of commentary across 3 games. Plenty of goals across all of them as well. We had 5 in the first one, we had 4 in the second one, and then just add it there, we've added 3 in this one as well. So a action-packed day, plenty of goals, plenty of VAR talking points. Luckily, not in this game. Although potentially there could have been 1 or 2, but I think the referee got the 2 penalty incidences right if you look back on them. I did say that the one on Lacazette could have been a penalty, but when you look back, it did look like it was just on the edge of the box. I think he got that one spot on. But yeah, there's been plenty of great coverage today from plenty of great commentary. Great commentators, starting off with myself and Jack, and then moving through with Matt and John, and then, of course, with JB there to wrap it up as well. And, of course, you jumping in with bits and pieces here and there yourself for us too.
Yes, I had to jump in a few times during this one when JB was having a few technical issues, which I didn't mind, but I had a fantastic day today, helping out behind the scenes, which I didn't mind doing, and fetching you on for punditry as well, Mike, which has been a fantastic work, and looking forward to working together again with JB and yourself, Mike, in future games on his commentary as well. Stepped in last night on the punditry for the Crystal Palace game as well. So
against Chelsea, that was a good game as well. I've forgot about that one for a second. Of course, Chelsea bouncing back in style on the back of their defeat to West Brom, and much needed result for them. And Arsenal getting a much needed result in this one as well, over at Bramall Lane, and coming away from Yorkshire with 3 goals and a clean sheet and 3 points.
Yes, absolutely, Mike, absolutely. So we're going to wrap it up there now, guys. Thank you very much for joining it. With the next confirmed commentary is on Thursday evening, when myself and Nicholas Jones will be back for you with Rotherham United against Coventry City in the Championship. Then Nicholas will be back on Friday with Reading against Cardiff at 6:00 as well. So make sure you just tune in for that game as well. So, but if we do any games tomorrow, make sure you check it out on Twitter at Commentary Live 1 to make sure you stay up to date with the brilliant Football Commentary Live. Until next time, take it easy and we'll see you very soon.